Hey folks, Nathan here from Star Wars Beyond the Films, with Star Wars Timeline Gold and Cloud City Casino, a Star Wars gaming podcast over at StarWarsReport.com, bringing you a look at the newest of the big expansions for Imperial Assault. This is the $60 expansion, Heart of the Empire, which takes us to Coruscant. The rulebook, of course, sets up the scenario. Heart of the Empire. As the Empire grows ever more powerful, the Rebel Alliance constantly seeks a weakness in the galactic juggernaut. Invaluable to these efforts are the reconnaissance missions undertaken on Coruscant, the Ecumenopolis, capital of the Empire. Danger lurks in the shadows of the city. A recent rebel team sent word of a powerful artifact being sought as a weapon by agents of the Empire before they went missing, presumed captured. Now a new team of heroes races through hyperspace into the heart of the Empire itself to find more about this mysterious artifact and continue the mission of their comrades. As usual, your campaign log is here on the back. So we'll start with sort of the basics here. We, of course, have the rule book. We then have our skirmish map sheet. We have the 30th floor plaza skirmish map and the Temple Gardens skirmish map. I really like the look of this one, right, with the Jedi Council chamber and all this kind of stuff. Very cool looking. And then we have our map tiles ranging from enormous down to our typical tiny ones for a total of 43 map tiles. Then get into the bits and pieces here. We have our proof of purchase and our ally and villain tokens. As usual, we have a situation here where we have some characters who are not represented in-game by miniatures, but you get their deployment cards. Of course, these are the characters who show up as the villain and hero expansion packs that we can add to the game for this wave. We then have a total of 12 energy shield tokens. We have 2 companion tokens to go with our 2 companion cards, J4X7 and 88Z. Looks like BBZ, but it's 88Z. We have 22 so-called Rebel cards here. We have 5 condition tokens for weekend and 4 condition cards for weekend. Yes, that is a mismatch. That happens frequently. We then have what are called power tokens. Basically, there are abilities that you can play within this expansion that give you one of these tokens. And then when you want to, you can spend that token to add that to the results of a given situation. So it's kind of like preparing things ahead of time. We have ID tokens there for 22 and 23, along with the corresponding sticker sheet for 22 and 23. We have our 3 hero sheets for our new heroes. Ko-Tun Feralo, Jared Kelvin, and then Drokata. To kick off our smaller cards, we have 3 supply crate cards, shield pack, supply chest, and grappler arm. 3 form cards that work with the Claudite Shapeshifter, Scout, Street Rat, and Senator. These on the back, for what it's worth, have the Claudite on there. Then we have 14 reward cards. We have Wookiee Roar, X8 Upgrade, Alliance Efficiency, Populist Support, Intercepted Plans, Lessons of History, Scouted Enemies, Inside Source, Bardotan Shard, yes, referring to that arc of Clone Wars with Jar Jar, Mercenary Aid, Vader's Legion, Explosives Clearance, Track Movements, and Power of the Shard. Then, for our items, of course, we're going to have our different tiers. Tier 1, Responsive Armor, Charged Ammo Pack, and Charged Pistol. Tier 2, Polearm, Focusing Beam, and Hunter's Rifle. Tier 3, A12 Sniper Rifle Supply Pack and Power Charger. Then we have 10 command cards here. Field Supply, Arcing Shot, Droid Mastery, Ready Weapons, Concentrated Fire, Armed Escort, Forward March, Heavy Ordnance, Collateral Damage, and Battle Scars. We have 2 Imperial class decks, of course 9 cards each. Reactive defenses includes active surveillance, shielded, blaster emplacements, mechanical protocol, remote activator, infrared scanners, electromagnetic disruptors, targeting sensors, and overclock. And then power of the dark side includes the power of passion, embrace suffering, embrace hate, unnatural abilities, embrace anger, supernatural vigor, embrace fear, dark resurgence, and manifest aggression. For our hero class decks, for Drokata, we have MGL-9 Boomer, Shrapnel Rounds, Repeater Cannon, Structural Exploitation, Wookiee Wrath, Thermal Explosives, Charging Up, Leave No One Behind, and Bank Shot. And for those who are curious, that's what his injured card looks like. Then, injured card for Jared Kelvin and his deck. which includes Leaping Slash, Mechanical Master, Explosive Reflexes, Mutual Progression, not natural, but mutual progression, Slicer's Upgrade, or Upgrades plural, Scout's Loadout, Balanced Approach, Forward Momentum, and Vibro Claws. He's sort of a Star Wars Wolverine. Then we have Service Rifle, Auxiliary Training, Inch by Inch, Combat Logistics, Dig In, Fire Support Specialist, Opportunist, Squad Cohesion, and Self-Sufficient to go with our Syrian Khotun Faralo, and there is his injured card. For what it's worth, by the way, Drokata is the Demolitions Expert, Jared is Jared with Jax, and then Khotun is the Rebel Quartermaster. Again, if you're curious, this is what the backs of those cards look like. Reactive Defenses and Power of the Dark Side, respectively. They are for the Imperials. Then, of course, Drokata, Jared Kelvin, and Khotun Faralo for the Rebels. All right, so let's start with our large cards, which are going to include our story missions. So we have for story missions, On the Trail, Inside Man, From Dark Clutches, Double Agent, Into a Corner, Disruption, On the Run, History Repeats, Enemies Closer, Capital Escape, and The Realm of the Dark Side. For agenda sets, for Field Commander, we have Reinforcements en route, Unyielding Dedication, and Assault Coordination. Then for security protocols, we have Surveillance Cams, Heavy Riot Gear, and Shields Online. For our skirmish missions, for Temple Guards, we have Temple Onslaught and Garden Standoff. And then for 30th Floor Plaza, we have Overwatch and On Our Way. And then for our side missions, we have Civil Unrest, Test of Metal, Unfinished Business, and Extraction, which in reverse order take place on Coruscant, Geonosis, Kuat, and Terrace. Getting into our minis, we have Drokata, Jared Kelvin, and Khotun Faralo, given their regular deployment cards for skirmish. And then there's their minis. I actually think these are pretty cool looking minis. Dig the goggles on the Wookiee, the big old cannon he's got, the blades there for Jared. And Khotun looks pretty cool too with the pack that he's got and the gun that he's got. And then that, it looks like it's a power cord, but it's not actually a power cord. It's basically just a ponytail for Khotun there. Then we have two attachments, Rogue Smuggler and Wookiee Avenger. And then, of course, we have the Elite Ahsoka Tano. But, of course, this is one that has the token instead of a mini because this is going to be one of the hero ally packs. Of course, then we have our Imperial side. We have Riot Trooper. Notice we have our regular version, 4 cards, Elite version, 2 cards. There's only 4 of the minis, and each deployment card has 2 minis attached to it there. So you can use 2 of these, but they're giving you basically 6. 4 of one, 2 of the other. Pretty cool looking there for the Riot Troopers. Then we have the Sentry Droids, of course, based on the Dark Troopers. We see them in Rebels. We have 2 regular and 1 Elite for them. Kind of neat there. They're stepping forward. They're leaning a little bit, which is a little bit weird, but okay, whatever. The big one this time, the ATDP. Nice big ATDP as we see quite a bit in Rebels. Yes, you do have to assemble it. No difficulty there, though. We have 1 attachment, which is driven by hatred, and then we have Emperor Palpatine, who has a token. He'll be in one of our villain packs. Then we got our mercenaries here, kind of our scum and villainy type of figures. We have Claudite Shapeshifter, 2 regular, 1 elite, and oddly, even though each one only allows for 1 Claudite, we have 4 Claudite miniatures. Okay, sure, whatever. And then we have Maul as a merc, an unaligned character in this case, not Imperial, not Rebel. And we got a token for him. He's going to be another of our expansion packs. And that pretty much does it. A nice $60 expansion for Imperial Assault takes us to Coruscant, gives us Ahsoka and Maul and Palpatine, Dark Trooper type characters and so forth. Pretty cool, I think. I'm going to enjoy checking this one out in its campaign mode. But again, this is Heart of the Empire for Imperial Assault.